From extreme heat to rain and wind, get ready for a big change in the forecast as a hurricane approaches Baja. Thanks so much for being here at 6 a.m. on this Thursday. I'm Eric Connard.
And I'm Carrie Lane in for Netta. Let's get right to Evan for a check of the forecast because changes are on the way. Rain is included in that. Yeah,
absolutely. We have rain in the forecast, thunderstorms, plenty of easterly winds that will pick up. We have the possibility of gusts moving to the 60 and 70 mile per hour range across the mountains. That's where gusts will be most intense, and 2 to 4 inches of rain across the mountains and deserts. Along the coast, things will be lighter. It will likely be about ½ an inch to an inch of accumulating rain from Friday into Saturday. But for your Thursday, today, we are staying hot and we are staying dry. Clouds are going to start to build across the county. We'll see those virtually countywide, but temperatures are going to remain hot. Excessive heat will continue for today, and we'll see that excessive heat warning then expire as we head into tonight. So coming up, we'll talk about Hurricane K churning off the coast of Baja. We'll talk about how it's going to be affecting us, bringing that rain, wind, and then, of course, cooler temperatures, finally breaking up this heat wave that has been many, many days long. So details on all of the changes that we're going to see over the next several days coming up in just a bit.
That cool down will be welcome, but in the meantime, we still have the heat to deal with. The state now issuing a 9th flex alert, and it's even longer. You are being asked to conserve energy from 3 to 10 p.m. today. Yesterday, power demand came dangerously close to overtaking the supply, but we have managed to avoid rolling blackouts so far. Meantime, because of the incoming rain, the county is offering free sandbags, to property. This is for people living in unincorporated areas. They will be offered at fire stations from Bonita all the way to Fallbrook, and we do have that full list at CBS8.com. Just click on the help button.
Now, as we deal with these scorching temperatures here, experts believe this unprecedented heat wave could be a sign of what's to come. CBS 8's Dana Marie McNichol is live in Coronado now with the impact of these extreme conditions. Good morning.
Well, good morning, Carrie and Eric. Let me tell you, scientists say that these heat waves could be more common in San Diego, lasting for a longer period of time and become even warmer. We spoke to a scientist at the Scripps Institute of Oceanography for answers.
We have these hot, muggy nights that make it more difficult for people who either don't have air conditioning or can't afford to run it. Makes it much harder to live through a heat wave like that.
Another resource we reached out to is Alex Tardy, a warming coordinator and meteorologist with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association. He says even after the sun goes down, the temperatures will stay high and humid. That's something we're seeing, and I'm even feeling right now here in Coronado. Over the past 10 years, 6 of those years have been record warm, not only in the summer, but the entire year. He says if we break down this heat wave over the past 2 weeks, it's been the top warmest in almost every location from San Diego to Salt Lake City and Sacramento. A lot of those areas are seeing their warmest 1-week period on record. With their projections, interior areas of California like mountains and deserts will warm faster, and it's already happening. For example, we're experiencing more days where it's 115 degrees out in areas like Palm Springs. Longer heat waves are also coming into their data, and the pace is fast. He says major changes are coming closer to 2030 and 2050. Now, with these warm overnight temperatures and prolonged heat waves, they're concerning that summer is dragging well into fall. They're seeing shoulder seasons like spring and fall being much warmer than average, something that they're worried about. Now, Tardy says that this is all due to climate change and really does encourage people to make changes in their daily habits because these warmer temperatures are going to be hard for not only people to live, but businesses and our way of life here in San Diego. For further information, CBS8.com is a great resource. I'm Dana Marie McNichol, live in Coronado.
Thanks, Dana Marie. This morning, 4 people are dead and 3 others are hurt after police say a man drove around Memphis, Tennessee, shooting at random. The suspect reportedly streamed it live on Facebook. This started early yesterday morning and continued late into the evening. Now, people were told to shelter in place as police tracked down the shooter. The suspect was arrested after a high-speed chase.
This morning, a San Diego man here now on the FBI's list of the 10 most wanted fugitives. So this is Michael Pratt. He's been on the run since he was charged with sex trafficking and other felonies. Please take a good look at your screen here. Authorities say Pratt coerced hundreds of women into making adult videos for his website, including at least one underage girl. There is a $100,000 reward for information leading to his arrest. This morning we have new pictures from neighbors showing cars parked outside the Torrey Highlands home of the man who escaped house arrest. Leonard Francis, nicknamed Fat Leonard, was waiting for sentencing for masterminding a Navy corruption scandal. We're waiting to hear back from U.S. Marshals about the cars that were seen outside of his house. This morning, Steve Bannon is expected to surrender to authorities in New York. This is for charges related to a fundraising effort to build a border wall. Bannon called the pending indictment phony. He was once former President Trump's White House chief strategist and was pardoned by Trump on the federal level, but the Manhattan district attorney then opened a separate probe.
And this morning, doctors for Queen Elizabeth say they are concerned for her health. The 96-year-old British monarch is under medical supervision right now. The announcement comes a day after she canceled a meeting and was told to rest. Buckingham Palace says the Queen is comfortable and remains in Scotland, where she's been spending the summer. We wish her well. This morning, 2 kids from Spring Valley who were reported missing are now safe. We told you yesterday an Amber Alert was issued in Baja after their mother was killed in Mexico over the weekend. Last night, the San Diego Sheriff's Department told us that the kids were located. No other details have been released. And this morning, a proposal to redevelop the sports arena site is up for review. A city council committee will discuss the Midway Rising project, which has been recommended by Mayor Todd Gloria. This proposal includes a new arena, affordable housing, a hotel, retail, and park space. If approved, it could go to the full city council next week. Now, the project is facing a legal challenge. The group called Save Our Access recently filed a second lawsuit against raising the height limit in the arena area. They say it would take away public land, which would negatively impact the future of coastal communities.
Well, the deadly Fairview Fire in Riverside County continues to grow here this morning. It is now 19,000 acres, still only 5% contained. Sadly, 2 people were killed by this fire. Evacuation orders are in effect for parts of the south side of Hemet down into the San Jacinto Mountains. Fire danger very high here after this 8-9 day stretch of incredibly hot temps that we've had here, record-breaking in some parts.
Exactly, and the big factor that we're going to consider too is the increase in wind gusts. Wind is going to pick up ahead of all of the wet weather that we're looking into in the forecast as we go into your Friday night and Saturday. That wind is going to start up tonight into tomorrow. So Friday, tomorrow, is going to be a very windy day overall before we see any of that wet weather arrive. That means that is of prime fire concern because of how hot it's been. The plus side, though, is that we do have rain and widespread rain at that expected in the forecast very quickly following that wind event. It will remain windy throughout the weekend. Rain is going to start Friday night and continue into Saturday. As we wake up today on our Thursday morning, we're dry out there. Clouds are starting to increase, but we are going to see another hot day outside with excessive heat and that excessive heat warning remaining. Walking out the door right now, 72 degrees in Oceanside, 71 in Encinitas, 76 in El Cajon right now. We were seeing some of your overnight temperatures in the 4:30 half hour closer to 80 degrees. So still very, very warm out there. Today's the final day of that excessive heat before we start to see the wet weather, wind, thunderstorms roll in, and in turn cooler temperatures. Hurricane K is who we have to thank for that. Hurricane K currently churning off of the Baja coast, and as we start to see that system move farther north, it's going to break apart, it's going to decay, turn into a post-tropical cyclone just off of the eastern Pacific, but it will send residual showers our way, and that's what we're going to see for Friday and Saturday. Chance of picking up on maybe 2 to 4 inches of accumulating rain across your mountains and deserts. Your coastline expecting more in the realm of about ½ an inch or so. So here's what we see on satellite radar as we speak. Clouds starting to move in, a few showers surrounding us. Afternoon highs are going to mostly be in the 80s and 90s. A high of 83 in Pacific Beach, 90 in San Diego, 97 in Santee and El Cajon. Moving up the coastline, we see Oceanside making it to a high of 91 degrees, 96 for Fallbrook, 97 for Escondido this afternoon. So excessive heat remains, and then we start a gradual cool down into the rest of the week before we see that wet weather roll in tomorrow night all the way through your Saturday. Some of those showers are going to start up as early as tomorrow afternoon. Let's transition to traffic. It is 6:10 on the clock right now. We got to talk about what's going on the roads to kick off the morning. Pretty quiet start to the 6 o'clock hour. So far, just a couple things to take you to. Want to first off show you what is causing plenty of congestion on the Coronado Bridge. So we see the right-hand shoulder blocked with a crash on the 5 southbound. This is as you get onto the Coronado Bridge, also known as the 75 there. All that red that we see spanning the entirety of the bridge is thanks to this crash that is leading up to it. So we see the entirety of the 5 southbound getting onto the 75 or onto the Coronado Bridge with plenty of congestion. Farther up north, the number 3 lane blocked right now with a stalled vehicle on the 805 northbound. This is at Miramar Road, not causing any major backups. Looks like they are working to get that number 3 lane cleared, push this over to the right-hand shoulder, and get that towed vehicle out of the way. Back to you.